All right. Are y'all ready for day 12? Are you ready for day 12 with Back to School with PBJ? I am Dr. Patrice Buckner Jackson, but you can call me PBJ. And you know, if you've been listening, I'm going live every night in July to equip my educators to start this academic year strong. You're not going back with overwhelm and burnout this year because I am giving you the strategies so that you can have a good start and sustain. Not just about the start, but we want it to continue. So let's get into day 12. I don't want to keep you long, but this is important. Today we're talking about rest. Rest. I'm not talking about a nap. I'm not even just talking about sleep because how often do you sleep and don't get any rest? So I need to give you my formula for real rest, and you need this. You need this now. And y'all, my eyes are acting crazy because of allergies, but never mind. If I need to dab my eyes, it's fine. You need real rest now as you gear up and prepare to go back or to start or to open this academic year, but you also need to sustain it. So this is not just a moment of rest. This is a lifestyle of rest. Hear me. You need to establish a lifestyle of rest. Somewhere we learned that rest is a reward, and that is irresponsible. Rest is a requirement. It's a requirement. You don't get rest after you drug yourself down to your lowest moment and given all. You establish rest throughout your life, just like you need to eat, just like you need to sleep. You need to rest. You need to rest. If your mind is not rested, if your body is not rested, there's no way that you can show up as your best in the classroom, on the campus, in the school, whatever you need to do. So let's talk about rest. What does a lifestyle of rest look like? And I want to offer you three different types of rest that you need in your life in order to have a lifestyle of rest. I remember feeling like I didn't have time to rest. If I didn't have a week off or at least a day off from work, I didn't think I could even rest, but I had to learn to rest while working. Listen to me. I had to learn to rest while working. So let me tell you what you need. The first type of rest you need is what I call Selah rest. Selah, Selah rest. Selah is a word that you'll find in the Bible in the book of Psalms, and it literally means stop and think about that. Right? So in the middle of a psalm or at the end of a psalm, you might see the word Selah, and it means to stop and think about that. One of the most critical things that we lost during the pandemic was our think time. There was a day because you had to drive back and forth between meetings or you had to walk back and forth between meetings. There was at least a moment to stop and think. But now we live in a day because you can jump on from one screen to the next, to the next, to the next. We never stop to think. We've lost our think time. And even if you do have 5 minutes between classes or 10 minutes between meetings, you pick up your phone and you're scrolling in your phone during those 10 minutes. You have just given up your rest time. You have just given it away. So I want to encourage you to incorporate Selah rest. And Selah rest is 3 to 10 minutes throughout your day where you can stop and think. 3 to 10 minutes, friend. I'm not talking about being on a beach somewhere with your favorite drink. I mean, if you can do that, I'm not hating, do your thing, but you can't do that all the time. So you need to incorporate moments of rest throughout your day. That may look like making sure that you corner off 10 or 15 minutes between meetings. For meetings that you control, does it need to be an hour? Can it be 45 minutes so everybody gets 15 minutes back before the next meeting? That may mean that you go to your car during the day, lunch, break, whatever, walk outside, get some fresh air, sit in your car, let the AC blow on your face, turn on some music that you love. But you need 3 to 10 minutes of Selah rest throughout your day. multiple times a day. And it doesn't have to be all day, but can you do it 2 or 3 times? Can you go into a single stall restroom and just be? Lock the door and just be. Don't take your phone, but just be there for 10 minutes. If the school falls apart, if you're inaccessible for 10 minutes, we got bigger problems. So where can you go? What can you do? Can you just walk outside and walk down the sidewalk and get some fresh air and turn around and come back for 3 to 5 minutes? Maybe you need to think about the meeting that you just left or the meeting that you're walking into. Maybe you just need to allow your mind to break. Maybe you just need to stop for a minute, but you need Selah rest, and you need to incorporate more of it when you have heavy things or major responsibilities. So if you know you have a meeting with a contentious parent, or for my student conduct folks, you know that you have a hearing coming up, maybe you incorporate 30 minutes of Selah into your calendar before you go into that situation. Or maybe there's a one-on-one with the boss that's making you anxious. Incorporate a few minutes, walk across campus to the meeting, but take the long way. Or sit in your office alone with the door shut and play some music, some instrumental music that just ministers to your soul. Take your Selah rest so that you can show up better in the next few minutes. So you need daily, throughout your day, your Selah rest. Next, I want to encourage you to have Sabbath rest. Now, all of this comes from scripture for me, but whether you believe or not, this is powerful, right? You need 24 hours every week where you are not working. Don't turn me off. Don't say you can't. Friend, if you can't take a day, and that's one of the stories that we tell ourselves, I can't take a day. You can. You will find a way. Don't mess around and get sick. I bet you'll stop, right? And we don't want that. We don't want that. So can you take 24 hours for rest, play, and worship? That means go eat some ice cream. That means dance around your house. That means play some music. That means go sit by a body of water. That means play a board game with your friends or with your family. No email, no work, no phone calls. 24 and no work phone calls. 24 hours where you're just refilling and refueling. Whether you do that alone or whether you do that with other people in your household. If you have children, they need to learn it too. They need to learn it too. And if you're feeling real froggy, do it without tech. All phones in a basket for 24 hours. I want to challenge you to give your mind a break. Friend, I said this a couple of nights ago, but we live in a day and age where we are all overwhelmed by information. Our bodies were not built to process the amount of information coming at us constantly 24/7. And in order to give a break, you're going to have to create the break. You cannot wait for the break. You know, we're having conversations about Alzheimer's and dementia, and all of these numbers are going up. And I believe it's because we are all overstimulated and we are wearing our brains out. Can you give your mind, your body, your spirit a day? And even if you can't be consistent with it every week, can you start? Just try. Try with 12 hours. Try with 6 hours. Don't just talk yourself out of it and say it can't be done. Can you give yourself some Sabbath rest? If the creator of heaven and earth can stop, so can you. So that's one day a week. Finally, I want you to consider sabbatical rest. Okay, so I get sabbatical from our academic environment where faculty members leave their home institution and they go to another institution for the sake of research, but it also means their other responsibilities, their service to the university and all the other things that they do, they can sit that aside for whatever project they've been assigned to do. Sabbatical means you physically get away. Physically get away for a few days. Maybe you've done some vacation. Now, let me say something about vacation because I've been talking to some of my clients and you all are taking vacation, but you're taking them with your children. And we love the kids, but you know that vacation was not for you. You know that vacation was for your little people and you came back just as tired as when you left. Friend, I'm talking about a couple of days, a few days away where you can just be. And excuse me, it's important that it is a way, because when you just take time off and you're at home, you may be sitting, but you're still grinding in your head. You're looking around at all the things you could be doing instead of resting. When you physically go away, it's easier to let go because you're not in the environment of your hustle. You're not in the environment of your busy, of your responsibilities. And it's easier for you to disconnect for real and really get refreshed. So every now and then you need sabbatical. You need to go physically away, and you can determine what that looks like based on your budget, friend. But you don't have to go to the Maldives unless you can, friend, and make it happen. But if that's not where you are right now, that's okay. Can you go to a friend or a family member who will just leave you alone? Who will give you a back room and just let you be? Can you go several days and sit at the local lake? So you get up early, you go sit there until it gets too hot, then you come home. Whatever you need to do to give yourself a physical separation from your responsibilities, that is sabbatical rest. So, friends, as you are preparing to start a new academic year, in these last few days before fall hits all of us, I want you to think about, how do I incorporate Selah rest throughout my days? How do I incorporate Sabbath rest once a week? And how do I incorporate sabbatical rest every now and then? Let me say this about sabbatical. Think now when your next break is going to be. Don't let it be Christmas. Don't let it be the holiday break. Think now, when can you stop? Look at the academic calendar and determine now, when's the next stop and what are you going to do? Plan for it so that you have something to look forward to, but also it's already planned so you don't have to get into the rush of everything and then you've gone too far and you don't have anything planned and nothing happens. So start thinking now. I know you're in summer, but go ahead and think now. When is fall break? What are you going to do for your fall break? When is winter break? What are you going to do for your winter break? Establish something that you can look forward to, but also plan it so it's done. And when the time comes, all you have to do is go. You know you need this. You know it needs to happen. So be intentional about your rest. Establish a lifestyle of rest so that you can sustain in doing the purpose work that you're called to do. You can't continue at this pace, so change your pace. Change your pace, friend. All right, so I want to know how you're incorporating rest in your days, in your week, and how you get away to rest. So make sure you leave a comment, send me an email. Let me know how you're incorporating rest. And if you haven't, friend, this is your challenge. It's time. All right, I'm going to let you go. I'll be back tomorrow night with day 13 of Back to School with PBJ. Don't forget to get your book sample, patricebucknerjackson.com/book. And I'll